Hi, everyone. So my name is Leah, as mentioned, and I'm a client engineer here at Unit. Can everyone see my screen?
Looks great.
Okay, cool. Great. Sorry, I just move the bar a little. Okay. So I'm going to be talking to you guys about Unit today and doing a demo with using our Unit pilot environment. So Unit is a banking as a service platform founded on the idea that building banking shouldn't take 18 months and a 7-figure investment. So building financial services into your product is a 3-faceted challenge. The first being the compliance, second being the technology aspect, and the third being the banking relationships. So Unit helps you deal with all 3 of these challenges so that you can focus on your unique value proposition that helps differentiate you from the many other alternatives that your target customers may choose from, and also focus on your customer acquisition. So today you're going to hear from 3 companies that work well together as part of an ecosystem. Lance, which is one of Unit's very first clients who took a huge leap of faith, counting on a brand new company and new product. And we've been very proud of their success building a state-of-the-art banking experience for freelancers. And then next, Abound, a Unit partner, is a tax and benefits automation platform that allows fintechs to help their customers with any tax and benefit needs that they may have. Multiple Unit clients use our Abound Unit integration to help freelancers manage their taxes. So there are 2 different ways that you can build on Unit. The first is through a sandbox developer environment. So this uses test data that allows you to build out your entire product with no limitations at all. You can simulate all the real life scenarios that you would see in a production environment. Keeping in mind, though, the only difference here is that these are not actually going to be real accounts or real cards or real funds that you're actually moving. So alternatively, we allow customers to build MVPs using our pilot, which is part of our production environment. So you can build out core features with very minor limitations, such as number of cards per account within this pilot environment. So since it's in production or part of our production, these are actually going to be real accounts and real funds, and you can make live transactions as well using this product. So this allows anyone to build and test a fully functional financial services prototype using real accounts and funds by just making a couple API calls, and that's all the commitment that's required. So that's what we'll be doing today. I'm going to show you how to create an account in Pilot and then go from that to actually making a live purchase in Amazon. Okay. So here you can see our Pilot sign up page. I can see I pre-filled it with some credentials here. So I'm just going to go ahead and create my account. So you can see here when I log in, I'm kind of prompted to do a few things to kind of get started building in pilot mode. And we're going to do the second step here, which is going to be to generate an API token that we can use to actually make sample API requests. So you just have to give a description. So I'll just put test. You can give an expiration. By default will just be in a year, but you can make that less. You can also provide source IPs if you'll only be hitting the API from a certain IP. And then next is the scopes. So on each operation that Unit has as part of its API, on our documentation, it lists what scope is required for that operation. So that's how you'll know what scopes you'll need for your testing. So for our testing purposes today, I'm just going to select all scopes and go ahead and create my token. Just going to take a look at the chat. Okay. So I'm just going to copy my token over and then go into my Postman environment here and paste it into my variables and then just save it. So all of these 3 are configured to actually, all of these 3 calls here are configured to use this token. So that's how it will be working. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and create a business application. So you can see here what that payload kind of looks like. And it's a little different for the individual, but in this case, we have business. So I'm going to go ahead and send this application. So we can see it was created on the back end. And now it will be entering the KYB flow that we provide. So some applications will be approved automatically, but depending on the information, they might require some additional documents that the user would need to upload, and they might be submitted for manual review. So it really just depends. I also just wanted to point out another way that you can use applications on Unit is by using this application form that we provide. So it's a white label application form, so you can update like your logo and a little bit about like look and feel of this. And it goes through the whole flow of allowing your users to actually apply. So you don't actually have to build out that application flow if you don't want to. And then here you can just see some examples of like how it looks a little more customized. So that's another option that you could use for submitting applications as well. Okay. Okay, so next, what I'm going to show you here is, just refresh. What I'm going to show you here is the webhooks. So if you guys, hopefully you guys are familiar with the idea of like webhooks and stuff, but these are real-time events that the Unit clients use to follow different flows that are happening in Unit and build customer-facing experiences and trigger logic based on what's happening. So for instance, in this case, you can see I submitted that application and it requires additional documents. So you can see it's put in the status awaiting documents. Behind the scenes, Ahood is just going to approve this for me. So I'm going to wait till I actually get that webhook in here, event in here. Okay, so here you can see it was just approved. And what you could do on the back end with this is you could say, if the second the customer is created, I might create an account for them so they don't have to do that themselves. So that's the kind, like an example of the kind of logic you can use for these different events that are coming in. So now we'll go back into, let me just log out of this. I'm just going to log in. Okay. And I'm just going to go here to my applications and I'm going to see that application that we just created together in here. And then you can see that's linked to my customer. And here I see my customer in Unit. So I can see I don't have any accounts yet or any cards. So that's what we'll be creating next. Okay. So I'm just going to copy over my customer ID here and then go back into Postman. Okay. And I'm just going to replace this placeholder here with my customer ID. And then kick off the API call. And you can see here, this just created for me our deposit account. So I'll show that here. So I can see the deposit account has been created. Okay. So next we're going to take this deposit account unique ID back into Postman and then create a virtual card. Just going to update this placeholder here by account ID. And then I'm going to send that. And you can see that created for me a business virtual debit card. Okay. So you can see it's automatically active. That's just because it's a virtual card. Virtual cards will be active the second that they're created and available for use. There is also the option to do physical cards, which wouldn't be activated automatically. But when the user actually gets their card in the mail, they could then activate it. So now that we have our card activated, we're going to get those sensitive card details so we can actually make a purchase. So Unit provides a dedicated service here that actually saves our clients from having to deal with the rigorous and strict PCI compliance standards. So for this demo here, I just copied this sample that we provide on how activating a card using VGS here. And I just copied that here into Plunker. So I'm just going to update the information here. If you just give me 1 second. So behind the scenes, Ahood created for me a customer token here. So I'm just going to populate that in here. And then also my card ID. So I'm just going to go back here to my card and copy my card ID here. Oh, sorry, not sure why it's not. Sorry, just give me, I'm just gonna have to put that information in again. Sorry about that. Okay. I just wasn't sure how to rerun it without this screen here. So here you can see I got my sensitive card details. And so now we've seen like basically our entire flow. Now I'm going to go into Amazon and actually make a purchase. But what we've seen so far is going from just an idea to actually having a card that we can make live purchases on. So I'm going to purchase this webcam cover here in Amazon. So I'm sure you're all familiar with this flow here. So I'm just going to add it in. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and use this payment method, use this address, and actually go ahead and place my order. So there we go. The order was placed and now I'll be getting my webcam covers soon. So now we can go back here to our webhooks and we can see some of the other things that have happened. So our transaction was created for our customer. As you can see in here, we can go into our dashboard and see that as well. So we see you can see Ehud funded my account behind the scenes. I forgot to mention that. So since he funded the account, I'm not actually sure why it's not showing up just yet, but as we can see, it went through. So ultimately, like that purchase will be showing up here in the transactions. Okay, so I think that's it.